What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me today. So let's get started. We're going to talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I want to say this movie was very good. If I was to compare it to the other Spider-Man movies, I have to say the first one, this one, and then the third one, and then finally the second one would be my favorites. Uh, this movie had a great cast, a lot of cameos. One of the notable ones I would say would be Cord. I'm terrible with names, but Corden. He was Tombstone. You might also remember him from the CW series Black Lightning, where he played the villain in that show, and he played that very well. And of course, we had John Berthal as Frank Castle. It was just a great cast, great scenes in Zendaya and Jacob Bolton, back together with Tom Holland again, and of course Sadie Sink, who was in this movie as well as our, who is she and whatnot. And then lo and behold, she is Jean Grey. We're gonna talk more about that later. Of course, we got Scorpion as well, Michael Mando, and of course Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. So this movie had a lot of great actors and actresses in it. I'm not gonna spoil it too much. But I do want to talk about some things. One of the things I want to talk about right now is the fact that Sadie Sink's character, Jean Grey, guys, I mean, I think we all can agree that Marvel really overhyped who we thought she was. I mean, a lot of people thought a few months prior to the movie being, released that it's probably Jean Grey because we saw in the trailer her jumping into people. So we knew it was going to be a psychic of some sort. And, Marvel's slowly starting trying to get the X-Men involved and, assume Jean Grey. And I hate to say it, they should have found a different way to hide Sadie Sink's character if they really wanted to be like the big reveal, big surprise and everything. Because I went into this movie like 90% certain that we were going to get Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey. And sure enough, she's playing Jean Grey. And, it's like, guys, you really overhyped us for she was going to be like some like big, villain or like big reveal. I mean, if they had said something like she's gonna be young Madam Web, then hey, I would actually been surprised about that. Been a little, whoa, really? We're getting Madam Web? How you guys doing this? Because Sony, you guys already messed that up. So how you gonna do this? But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Still, she did a great job as young Jean Grey and everything. And all in all, I don't have too many complaints about her. Tom Holland, seeing Tom back as Spidey, that was great. And seeing him, as we see with Spider-Man, he's going through it right now. He's not been connected with his friends. His friends went off to college, graduated college and everything. And he's been pretty much just alone working with an officer of, New York, just catching bad guys and being Spider-Man full time. And of course, him being Spider-Man full time, he's just really like disconnecting with his like human side, which is like why his arachnid side is like supposedly enhancing instead of, it being like, oh, hey, it's just evolution, which it does turn into that sort of thing. He accepts both sides, a young spider reaches the final stages, becomes an adult and everything. So yeah, I get what they were going for. Maybe it could have gone a little bit differently. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. But yeah, overall, Spider-Man Brand New Day was good. I will say I loved how the cast were interacting. There is a scene in the movie where all three of them, Tom, Zendaya, Jacob's character, they're just sitting at a table and they even nerd out a bit. I won't say what because you gotta see it, you gotta hear, it, you gotta just see it. But it's kind of funny, it's kind of cute. It's like oh my god, it's like the three Musketeers, the bands back together. Also, our Tom does mention one of the other Spider-Man movies. If you've seen a trailer, of course, then you know what he's referencing. And then, yeah, cameos. We got the Hand. We got a couple other Spider-Man villains. Of course, we got Frank Castle. I love. I gotta talk about. I just love the interaction between Frank and Spider-Man. It's just like left and right. Definitely have that younger sibling, older sibling type thing. And it's nice seeing that even though Frank is in this movie, he's not really changing too much. He is still Frank Castle. So let me just say, MJ was looking at something that she hadn't been looking at, and Frank had to pretty much set her straight. But overall, love the interaction between Spider-Man and Punisher. I hope we get more of this down the road, but not too much. I'm also really hoping we'll get a Punisher movie. Would we get a Punisher movie? I don't know. I think we would. Not sure it'll be released in theaters. It might be just be, go straight to Disney Plus. But yeah, overall, it was great seeing all these wonderful people, and I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe, and I will catch y'all next time. Later.